Hey there, welcome to the Chronicle Pregame Show. I'm Ryan Hoerger alongside Brian Pollack here on a casual Friday and snow day edition of the Chronicle Pregame Show. We're going to get you set for Duke and NC State. We're going to tip it off in Raleigh, 2 p.m. on Saturday afternoon, assuming that the weather doesn't get too much worse than it is right now. Been plenty of snowfall and freezing rain here in Durham so far. But so far so good. We're here to talk about some Duke basketball. It's been a tough sledding for the Blue Devils of late. 3 straight losses for Duke, first 3-game losing streak since 2007. The Blue Devils are going to try to right the ship against the Wolfpack. Brian, really one of the issues they're going to have to combat in this game is going to be depth. Duke hasn't always had the depth. Coach K doesn't use his full allotment of scholarship players. That's really kind of hurt the team with Emil Jefferson being out.
Certainly, and they really had to go to a rotation of basically just 6 guys in the past several weeks, with Chase Jeter and Sean Obi being really unable to fill in that second big court position behind Marshall Plumlee. And it kind of manifests itself in 2 ways. The Blue Devils are really getting killed on the offensive glass. They don't have much to help out besides Marshall Plumlee down low, and they don't have a second big body. And additionally, in their backcourt, just because these guys are playing so many minutes, their shots are starting to, they got tired. You could see it really at the end of the Syracuse game. They shot 10 of 37 from three-point land, and a lot of those were good shots, but their shots just looked tired. They weren't getting a lot of spring in their leg. So it really is kind of hurting them on both ends of the floor. Hopefully, though, this 5-6 day rest should be able to get them back into it.
Yeah, you mentioned that, Brian. I think it really manifests itself with, it was their first Saturday-Monday turnaround in the ACC, so they lose a heartbreaker against Notre Dame on Saturday by 4 points, 95-91. They come back, they're only able to score 62 against Syracuse. It wasn't necessarily a well-played game between the Blue Devils and the Orange, but it was a great game. 64-62 was the final. Syracuse squeaked it out, and like you said, the offensive rebounding really hurt Duke. Syracuse, forward Tyler Roberson had 20 rebounds overall, the most ever by a visiting player in Cameron. 12 of those were on the offensive glass, and the Orange got second, third, fourth chance opportunities. Really wore down the Blue Devils to play extra defense for another 30 seconds. Marshall Plumlee, he had probably his best game as a Blue Devil, 19 points, 17 rebounds. Really come on strong. Really is Duke's only low post threat at the moment. But he didn't really have much help on the glass. Matt Jones and Grayson Allen combined for just 3 rebounds between them. And those are guys that are big. They're not small guards. They get in there and mix it up a little bit, get some boards. So I think that's really key for them against NC State on Saturday. You've got a really aggressive Wolfpack squad highlighted by Abdul Malik Abu and BJ Anya.
Yeah, certainly, and those 2 guys you mentioned, Ryan, could present a big matchup problem for Duke. The center Abu is averaging nearly a double-double down in the post. Could be a real threat for Marshall Plumlee, but then BJ Anya comes in, and that's another big body that Duke may not have the capacity to deal with if they put them on the floor at the same time. So that's a tough matchup for Brandon Ingram. At a lanky 6'9". We'll see if Coach K goes to Sean Obi to try and combat that big presence down in the post. Out on the perimeter, though, the main threat for the Wolfpack is Anthony Cat Barber, a big guard, leads the ACC in scoring at nearly 22 points per game. And he's pretty relentless there. He pulls the trigger without any hesitation. So he'll certainly get his shots, and hopefully the Blue Devil defense will be up to stopping him. An interesting note is that Duke has had leads in each of his last 3 games at halftime and had trouble closing it out. So something we talked about before, they've had trouble finishing, and certainly at this arena, that's going to play in again.
Yeah, definitely. PNC Arena has not been friendly for the Blue Devils, almost a house of horrors, if you will. Going back to the 2012-13 season, Duke has lost its last 3 games there, including the Mercer game in 2014. It's a tournament that many people would like to forget. But Cat Barber was a key last year. Him, Trevor Lacey, Ralston Turner, they handled the Blue Devils their first loss of the year in Raleigh last January. And Duke is going to try to avoid that fate again come Saturday afternoon. So assuming the weather stays passable and the Blue Devils can make that trip over across the triangle to Raleigh, there's going to be a game 2 p.m. Saturday, Duke and NC State. Blue Devils trying to avoid a 4-game losing streak. For Brian Pollack, I'm Ryan Hoerger. You can follow our Chronicle's full in-game and post-game coverage at our Chronicle blog, DukeChronicle.com, and at Duke Basketball on Twitter. We'll see you guys later. Stay warm.